Okay, now let's discuss. A few more questions are there here. So, here is a question. So this question is, show that x power 5 minus 5x cube plus 5x square minus 1 equal to 0 has 3 equal roots and find this root. Okay, has 3 equal roots and find the remaining roots also. We have to show that this question. So now this is the concept of multiple roots. Actually here 3 equal roots is saying. One approach is that if you put x equal to 1, just by seeing you are able to understand x equal to 1, if you substitute, then you are getting the root. So therefore 1 is one root. So what I can say is f of 1 is 0 and f dash of x I will do. What is f dash of x? 5x power 4 minus this is 15x square plus 10x minus 1 that becomes 0. So now this also, if you substitute f dash of 1 also, it becomes 0. So very clearly. Now f double dash of x I will find, that is 20x cube minus this is 30x plus this is 10. So f double dash of 1 also becomes 0. F triple dash of x I will find, that is 60x square minus 30. So here f triple dash of 1 is not equal to 0. Already we discussed that f of 1 0, f dash of 1 0, f double dash of 1 0, f triple dash of 1 is not equal. Therefore 1 is multiple root or repeated root. Thrice repeated root, simply you can write thrice repeated root, or you can write f of x has 3 equal roots. What are those 3 equal roots? 1, 1, comma 1, comma 1. These are 3 equal roots. Now already I told you that if you know this, remaining 2 roots you have to find out. How do you find remaining 2 roots? By synthetic division you can find out remaining 2 roots. So how do you find remaining 2 roots? 1 comma 0. I am writing synthetic division. You can, this is important. You can learn 0 comma minus 5 comma 5 comma 0 comma minus 1. This x equal to, if you put 1, this is 0, 1, 1. This is 1 minus 4. This is minus 4. This is 1, 1. Add 1. This is 0. Like this you can take the next x equal to 1. One more time you are dividing with x minus 1 because 3 times. So that one more time if you take, this becomes minus 2 multiply minus this is minus 1. If you multiply here, this becomes 0. So now one more time, because 3 times I am dividing with x minus 1. So this is going to be again, this is 3, this is 1, this is 1, this is going to 0. That means what is that? F of x you got is x minus 1, x minus 1, x minus 1 into, you got x square plus 3x plus 1. You got this one you got. So remaining 2 roots also you can find out by expanding this one. So this is how we can find out multiple roots or repeated roots. So this, I think this I explained enough, this multiple roots concept. Just okay, then we will go to next one. Okay, then we will go to next topic. Polynomial equation with real coefficients. Polynomial equation with the real coefficient. Real coefficient. I am emphasizing on real coefficients because if we have real coefficients, then complex roots occur in conjugate pairs. So complex roots occur in conjugate pairs. Already we have seen in quadratic equations, and here also real coefficients are there, then complex roots whenever occurs, that means imagined roots occur. That means if a plus ib is a root, then a minus ib must be root if real coefficients are there. So first thing is one theorem is there here, lemma. What is that is, here if f of x is polynomial equation with real coefficients, then what we can say is f of alpha bar equal to f of alpha bar is nothing but f of alpha whole bar. This is same actually. So what does it mean? Because here real coefficients are there. So let's say what is f of x? Let's say f of x is, so I already told this one, ai x power n minus I already told this one. Well, let's take this one. That means a naught x power n, a1 x power n minus 1, like this. Now, what we can say is f of alpha. Let's say this is f of alpha. Okay, f of alpha. If I write this one, f of alpha, then what it will become? In the place of x, you will get alpha. Now, f of alpha bar, if I write, then what do I get? Is summation I equal to 0 to n ai alpha for n minus I get. So now here alpha bar, yeah, this alpha bar here, this is this bar is, even ai is real. Therefore, this ai is nothing but ai bar. Means what is this? Sorry, this one is, I did not explain. This one means conjugate. Alpha, let's say alpha is a plus ib, then alpha bar becomes what? A minus ib. So now here alpha bar is conjugate of alpha. This is called conjugate of alpha. So now here for 2 plus I, conjugate is 2 minus I. For 2 conjugate 2 bar means conjugate of 2 is 2 only, because 2 means nothing but what? 2 plus I0. For this conjugate is 2 minus I0, which is same. So conjugate of 2 is 2 only. Therefore here this what I can write is I equal to 0 to n ai bar into alpha bar whole power n minus I can write. So hope you understand. This means these both are same because ai is real. Since ai is real coefficients real. So you can write this. That means what, this is f of alpha. This is called f of alpha whole bar. So when real coefficients are there, this actually doesn't matter. So this is useful in some of the problems. So this will get in complex numbers also. So now, okay. So from this, what you can prove is actual theorem is that actual theorem is that if f of x equal to 0 is real polynomial means polynomial with real coefficients, okay, and alpha, that is alpha I am taking as a plus ib, is a root of multiplicity m, that means m times repeating root. Then what will happen is alpha bar equal to a minus ib is also a root of multiplicity m. That means for example, I will tell you this one. If 2 minus I is root, then 2 minus I is root of multiplicity 2, that means twice repeated root. Then what will happen is 2 plus I also becomes a root of multiplicity 2. That's what is the meaning. Okay. So hope you understand this one. So that means now, for example, he gives you find polynomial equation of least degree with real coefficients given that it has 2, here I wrote 2 minus 3 I'm taking 3i as twice repeated root. Twice repeated root means what? Root of multiplicity 2. So this is a question now. We have to answer this. So polynomial of least degree with real coefficients given that 2 minus 3i is twice repeated. That means what are the roots given is 2 minus 3i is one root, 2 minus 3i is another root he gave. When 2 minus 3i is a root, its conjugate also becomes root. That means 2 plus 3i is also root. If this becomes root, its Conjugate is 2 plus 3i. That means these are the 4 roots. So now least degree means 4th degree equation you get. Now this one you have to take, you have to write the equation. Now what is the equation? Sum of the roots, sum of all the roots. Sum of the roots means S1 we take na? S1, sum of all the roots. Is what? Sum of all the roots 2 minus 3i. Say do 2 minus 3i, 2 minus 3i, 2 plus 3i, 2 plus 3i. So this gets cancelled. That means what? 8. Sum of the roots is 8, like that. Sum of the roots taken 2 at a time. This into this, this into this, this into this, like that. Sum of the roots taken, so 2 at a time. That means x power 4 minus 8 into x cube plus sum of the roots taken 2 at a time into x square. Sum of the roots taken, sum of product of roots taken 3 at a time into x plus here product of all the roots. Product of the roots becomes what? 2 plus 3i, 2 minus 3i is what? 14 into 14. Hope you understand. Product of the roots means what? This into this. So that is 4 plus 3. 4 plus 3i whole square. So this becomes what? Product of the roots becomes what is? Yes, here one is 4 plus 3. Sorry, this is 2 plus 3i into 2 minus 3i. How do you do this? One is 2 square minus 3i whole square. So 2 square is nothing but 4 minus 3 square is 9. I square is minus 1. That's what is 13. Sorry, this is 13. So therefore, product of all roots is 13 into 13. That is 169 equal to 0. This becomes your equation. I did not write this. Sum of the roots taken 2 at a time. So you can write that and you can find out. So this is how you can, it will work. What is that? This is a root of multiplicity 2. Then this also becomes root of multiplicity 2. So the proof you can understand very easily. Okay. So now this one will prove, actually this theorem will prove, because proof very simple. So what I said is alpha is a root of multiplicity 2. Okay. If alpha is a root, f of alpha equal to 0. So that implies what? If f of alpha, so then what we have to prove? F of alpha bar becomes what? F of alpha bar becomes f of alpha whole bar. Already we discussed, but f of alpha is what? Given 0. So this becomes 0. Therefore, if alpha is a root, alpha bar also becomes root. That's simple actually. This is okay. So now very important, very important concept now. So that is one theorem is there. So what is the theorem is? Here f of x equal to 0 has all imaginary roots. Understand? Imaginary roots. All imaginary roots. Then, okay, all imaginary roots. Then f of x and a naught will have same sign. Same sign for all x belongs to R. So very important, but very simple actually. F of x equal to 0. F of x means polynomial. This has all imaginary roots. Now just I'll explain. Now what is f of x? Let's take a naught x power n. Already I told you polynomial equation generally we write like this: an minus 1x plus an. So this is polynomial equation. What I said is this has all imaginary roots. All imaginary roots. Imaginary roots means when you draw the graph, this is x-axis. When it has imaginary roots, what will happen is this curve is there. This curve will not touch x-axis. That means if a naught is positive, then this whole equation becomes positive. That's what I told you here. So here a naught is positive, f of x also will become positive because they will have same sign. So now here a naught is positive, curve will be upwards. That means what you are going to get like this, you are going to get curve maybe like this. Why? Because it should not touch x-axis, because it has imaginary roots. No real roots means it will not touch x-axis. So if a naught is greater than 0, then what will happen now? Here f of x is also positive. See, f of x is positive. This is positive. For this x value, positive. For this x value, this is a y value, positive. For this x value, this is a y value, positive. For this x value, this was a y value, positive. Y value, positive, like that. So now, what is the application of this? So application is that what's the application here? If at all these roots are all imaginary, then the curve will be completely above x-axis or completely below y-axis for all x belongs to R. Or if this is given completely above x-axis or completely below x-axis, that means a naught is less than 0, let us say. So then what is going to happen? And imagine roots. It has imagined roots and a is less than 0. Then what's going to happen is the curve will be like this. Curve will be like this. Curve will be like this. Okay. So this is an important one actually. So, okay. Okay, all right. We'll go to, okay, then we'll go to